Hey guys, I had a completely different video planned, like this whole like law of attraction, limiting beliefs video planned, but Spirit wanted me to talk about something else. Spirit wanted me to say that if you are going through something right now, the only way out is through. I had been in this like very triggered state for months, from like August until like maybe a month and a half ago, which is a really long time for me because I usually can intellectualize things and then just move forward. But this time I was kind of like stuck in this trauma response. And now since I'm like coming out of it, I'm realizing that I was using everything that I could to escape how I was feeling instead of like sitting with myself and sitting with my feelings and soothing myself. I was like trying to find relief from, trying to grasp onto relief from anything that I could, like whether that be like me living in denial, whether that be me trying to force an outcome, or like I was looking for like external validation. And I was smoking a lot of weed, if I'm going to be honest, from like the beginning of January to like the end of January. I was trying to numb out how I felt in every possible way instead of just sitting with myself. And if you are going through this, you are feeling like you're just trying to find any way to cope with how you're feeling, be gentle with yourself, be kind to yourself, and know that like, you're just trying to survive, you're just trying to cope. But at the same time, understand, my love, that what you are using, the things that you are using to try to cope and trying to like run from how you're feeling, it is only going to prolong your healing journey. And I know that it feels really hard and extremely uncomfortable to sit with how you're feeling because these feelings feel so heavy. You feel like you're gonna fucking die. Like, I know I'm really dramatic all the time, but it feels so hard to go through certain things because you start to feel just really depressed and alone and all of these things, and you're just looking on the worst side of everything. But you have to understand that Spirit has to put you through certain things in order to like shake you up, because sometimes you don't even realize that you're sleeping. Sometimes everything has to fall apart in your mind, whether that's like your mental state or your external reality, whatever it is. Sometimes things has to fall apart so that everything good can come back together, so that you can be where you are meant to be. Like everything that is happening for you, not to you. And sometimes it's really, really hard to look at it like that, because it's like no one wants to hear like when you are going through the depths of fucking hell. Like no one wants to hear that, but it's true. And, you don't prolong, the healing journey. Another thing that I realized is that like falling down, like falling into the depths of hell is like what going through it is all about. Because it's like, if I can go back and change anything, I realized that like there was no other way for me to cope at the time other than how I was coping, if that makes any sense. Like sometimes you have to use what you have at the tools that you have at the time to get through the things that you're going through. And sometimes that's not going to look pretty. Sometimes it's not going to be healthy. And sometimes it's not going to be all like love and light. Sometimes it's going to look like you crying, you smoking, you doing all of these things. But know that you cannot stay in this space. Eventually you're going to have to pick yourself up and, allow yourself to heal, allow yourself to become stronger, allow yourself to move on from the situation, So, and another thing is that, if you feel like you aren't going through anything right now, continue to do the work, continue to stay on your healing journey, continue to stay connected to Spirit in the best way that you can. Because I realized like the reason why I kind of feel so low is because I was not as I wasn't working as hard to stay connected to spirit, because I got into this really good place where spirit has blessed me. I got the job that I wanted, I got the apartment, I got all of these things that I was wanting. So I was kind of in my ego a bit. I was feeling myself a little bit, you know. I was kind of like, you know, feeling on top of the world. And when you start to feel like this, you start to stray away from spirit. Spirit kind of has to humble you so that, like, you can come back home. You can, you know, pay more attention to reality, you know, and instead of just, you know, being in your ego and kind of getting off of track with your purpose and all of these things, your focus has to somehow come, like spirit, God, the universe, whatever you call it, kind of has to get your attention in some way. So continue to do the work. Continue to, you know, feel what you're feeling, and, you know, everything happens for a reason. I don't really have notes for this or like affirmations or anything for this video because I wasn't planning for this one, but just know that everything happens for a reason, and what you're going through is not in vain. You know, you're gonna come out on the other side of this stronger and better, and just a better version of yourself. The person that you were before this is gone now, and it's best to accept that now instead of like trying to search and grasp and hold on to things that are not working. So yeah, that's all that I have for today. I love you, and I will see you in my next one.